Hi, welcome to Janna's Kitchen. I'm glad you're going to be cooking with me today. We're going to make gnocchi, ricotta gnocchi, which are little pillows, little Italian pillows that you serve with. You can either do a butter sauce or you can do like we're going to do today with a tomato-based sauce. And so I've got 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And I've got 2 cups of whole milk. You don't want to use the low fat. You want to use whole milk ricotta for these. You can use the low fat in something else, but for these you're not going to want to use the low fat ricotta cheese. Some gnocchi are made with potatoes and some are made with semolina flour, but today we're doing these are very light and fluffy, and so it's all-purpose flour. Make sure you don't over measure your flour. And we've got the ricotta cheese. That's 2 cups of ricotta. We have 2 eggs beaten. And then we've got 1 cup, of the Parmesan-Reggiano. You're gonna hear my dogs are ringing the bell in the background there. Sorry about that. They ring the bell when they want something or when they want to go outside, and so they're ringing the bell. And so if you hear the bell ringing, you'll hear that a lot at my house. And so then we're gonna mix that a little bit, and then I'm gonna sprinkle 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. How easy is that, right? And so we're just gonna stir this together until it's mixed thoroughly in my bowl. This is something that's so fast, and you can do this. It's extra special. My husband likes these for any day of the week, but we are making these for Valentine's. He's my Valentine, and we can have Valentine any day. We were gonna do it last weekend, but he was working, and it just never quite worked out, but that's okay because every day's Valentine's at our house. And so we're going to do them tonight. And you can see I've got my snowman apron on. I love aprons, and I wear them all the time. And we are going to get it probably pretty messy tonight. So anytime I work with flour, I manage to wear a little bit of it. So you can see the dough has become quite stiff. And once the gluten starts working, they'll become a little bit stiffer. And we're going to work on a well-floured board that I've got here. There it is. See, it's made of dough. Whoever imagined, right? There's still some flour in the bottom of that bowl. I want to get that mixed into those dumplings. The little gnocchi, little pillows. There. Look how fast that was. So now I'm going to get my board floured up. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to show you this recipe so you can write it down. I need to quit moving, don't I? There, you can freeze the screen too. And I'll put it in the notes below. So I've got a well-floured board. I always put a little bit extra up in the corner in case I need it. I'm going to put this other block, the other half over here. And now I'm going to flour my hands. This is so much fun. And now I'm going to make 2 1-inch diameter ropes out of this. I'm going to get that good and goopy there. Now you're going to hear the bell ring. I've got my 2 golden retrievers want to come in. It's snowing outside. They're not going to stay out there very long today. Where's my ratatouille? Little Bailey boy. Measure stick to see where I'm at on here. That's about 1 inch, isn't it? Right at it. And these are very rustic. So now I'm going to do my other one. Get this rope made. See, this is fun. Even your kids can help you. I remember one time my husband and I, he had to go to a conference and we were out in San Francisco. And this is back before Yelp, back before smartphones. This is back in the old days when you'd get to a hotel and you would ask the doorman, you would ask the front desk clerks or the concierge, what is your favorite this type of restaurant or that type of restaurant? I'm telling you what, nowadays traveling is so much easier having all the tools right on your cell phone. And I remember my husband, we were in the taxi cab and my husband asked the taxi driver if he had a favorite Italian restaurant. And we had planned to go to a different restaurant. And he says, oh, there's this little place. You probably don't want to go to it. It's just a little mom and pop place. It's not famous, but oh, they've got the best Italian food. And we went there and my husband looked at the handwritten menu and he was so excited because right on the middle of the page was gnocchi and a brown butter sauce, and he ordered that and he was just the whole meal. He was so blessed. Okay, now I'm going to get a knife and we're going to cut these into 1-inch pieces. See how simple this is? I'm going to move this one out of the way so I don't nick it. And then, if you're like me, so cut them every inch. Use your kid's school ruler. You don't have to have this long one. You could just use any little ruler or go by eyeball. Maybe you're better at it than I am. There. I'll wait and do that other one off camera. But then you take your fork and you roll it. And there's actually gnocchi boards that you can get, and you just can hand roll them to get that distinctive gnocchi signature fork mark on it. And it's just a wooden board. It's kind of like an old washboard looking thing. They probably used to use an old washboard. And then you go like that, just to get that little signature in there. That one looked a little big. And you boil these and they float to the top. It just takes a couple of minutes, and we're going to come back and we'll be ready to cook these. We'll see you back in just a couple minutes. Okay, welcome back. We are making a tomato-based sauce to go with the gnocchi. I've got my water going on the gnocchi because these only take about 2 to 3 minutes to boil the gnocchi and the ricotta gnocchi. And so what I've got is I've got a pan, a saucepan, and I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of olive oil to that, just to coat the bottom. I'm going to add a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. If you don't like spice, then don't add the red pepper flakes. And this is my garlic shaver, but you can just finely mince your garlic. I've got 2 cloves of fresh garlic, and like I said, I love fresh garlic. I don't like the jarred stuff very well. I think it tastes different than fresh, but you do what you like. And we're going to bring this to just until it starts to sizzle here, which isn't going to take very long. You're going to start to see the pepper flakes dance. You don't want to get your oil too hot because you have to add some tomatoes to it in a minute, and we don't want it to spatter all over the place. There, you can start to see the sizzle. And as soon as you can smell the aroma of the garlic is when we're going to add those tomatoes. And they're just starting to dance. See the red pepper flakes dancing? There they go. And there's that garlic starting to add its aroma. About 30 seconds is the max that it's going to take. Now we're going to add 1 can of tomatoes that have basil, garlic, and oregano already in them. This is just a family favorite. You can use your home canned tomatoes, whatever you like. This is so simple. I've got some Italian herbs. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of, it's just got rosemary and thyme and all those delicious Italian herbs already made in them. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of sweet basil, even though that had it in there. I like a little extra for myself. Then I'm going to add some oregano. And my favorite is Mexican oregano. It just seems to me to be the kind of taste that I like. And even though it's from Mexico, you'd think it was for Mexican dishes. But it's oregano. And I think it tastes wonderful. But use the oregano that you have. And I am adding some black pepper, freshly ground, of course. Look at, there's my water boiling for those gnocchi. Oh, and this does not take very long at all to cook these tomatoes up. Then I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of salt, because remember, there's already salt in those tomatoes. And you just have to cook this until those tomatoes begin to soften, which is not very long. And I know this looks really unusual, but it makes a really simple marinara that you normally can have those tomatoes sitting in your pantry and the ingredients that you already have, but add what you like to those tomatoes. And those are going to come to a simmer. See, already, there they go. And then the olive oil just makes it into the most decadent, light, healthy sauce to use with our ricotta gnocchi. I think my husband is Scottish. His family is from Scotland. But we all think they came from Italy because his favorite food always has been Italian. Okay, when we come back, that sauce is going to be ready. And we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of grated cheese into that sauce at the last minute. And I'm going to show you something else that you can do with it if you want. But that's as easy as that sauce is. And it's ready to go in just a couple of minutes. Okay, well, here we are. We're back at it. Welcome back to Janna's kitchen. So we've got the gnocchi all ready to go. And I'm going to add those to our salted boiling water. To 2 quarts of boiling water, I added 3 tablespoons of kosher salt. Now I'm going to add these little pillows. They take, like I said, 2 to 3 minutes. I have a timer set at 3 minutes. I'll watch it carefully. And you're going to watch for the biggest hint, which is floating to the top. This is about 1 serving that I put on this plate. 1 man-sized serving. And since they're all not exactly the same size like they would be if you purchased them, they might float to the surface at little different times. Oh, the guy was hurrying up to get in the pool. And while we're waiting for those to float to the top, You can see in the front here, we've got the tomato-based sauce. It's Janna's marinara sauce. But I taught my brother how to make this years ago. And he, to this day, and I mean that was like 16 years ago, we went and visited him in South Florida for our spring break when our kids were young and in high school. And we were just we had been eating out quite a bit, and I said, why don't we just stay in tonight and just relax and sit out by the pool and enjoy ourselves? And he goes, well, what do you want to make? And I said, what do you have? And he had chicken cutlets in the refrigerator, and so we'll do that at another time. But we made a simple, very simple chicken Parmesan, and I'll teach you how to do that one of these days soon. I was going to show you, if you want to break up the tomatoes, you can. This is one of those hamburger and meat choppers. There's those parties that we all get invited to by our neighbors. They carry these. And the other thing that you can do is if you have one of these little food blenders, hand blenders, put it in your pan, and you can do all of it, or you can just do part of it, or not at all. I like the tomatoes myself, but I just wanted to show you that that is an option if your family doesn't like chunky sauce. And you can cool it down a little bit and put it in a blender too. I've already shut this off just now. It's ready to go, because I prefer to have a chunky sauce. But if you put this in and either use the hand blender or chop it up some more, and look over here, we have little pillows floating. And our timer says 35 seconds more. And this is what I call a spider. This is, you can find these, they're like $3 to $5. And you can even put them in the dishwasher, which is really nice. I've got my plate ready to go for my husband. And he prefers a tomato sauce that is smooth. And he doesn't like chunks in it. I mean, he would eat it if someone served it to him, and I wouldn't hate it, but I like to do it his way. There's our timer for 3 minutes. And I'm going to try one of these and make sure, I'm going to try one of the bigger ones and make sure that it's done on the inside. And so we're going to look, and you can see that it looks like, the inside of it looks like a dumpling. And I'm going to taste this one. Yes, he's going to like that very much. So I'm going to put these into a pan. You can see the specks in them of the black pepper that we added to them. They're very flavorful. And there they are. The fresh rum. Gotta get this. Now, my husband's favorite sauce is over here. Ooh, I know he likes extra sauce. I'm going to grab a fresh spoon here. I have some freshly grated cheese. Ooh, I know he's going to be excited. And there you have the ricotta gnocchi with tomato sauce. And that's how simple it is. These do not take long to make at all. You saw how fast I mixed up the dough and rolled them out and made them little fork marks in them, boiled them for 3 minutes. And if you have a jarred sauce, they don't take long at all. You can do this after work and have your children help. It's kind of an art project at the same time. So we will come back another day and we'll see what's cooking in Janna's kitchen. Thank you for joining us.